Hello friends, and welcome to my monthly manga reads for the month of January. So I had one goal this month for manga reading, and that was to finish the Sailor Moon manga. So I'd read 4 volumes previously over the past year or so, and I finally got the rest of it in the second half of last year and just really wanted to finish it up. And I'm happy to say that I did accomplish that goal. So we're going to talk about some Sailor Moon manga. So for my overview of my stats for the month, I read 17 volumes of manga, 3 of which were digital, and they were all the first 3 of one series. The rest of them were physical volumes. So let us talk about everything. So first I'm going to talk about the 3 volumes that I read digitally, and I read You Got Me Sempai by... I don't remember. So You Got Me Sempai is by Azusa Mase. And this is a series about 2 high schoolers who enter into a relationship. The girl is a freshman or a first year in high school, and then the boy is her senior, so he's a second year in high school. And this was a really, really cute series. I feel like maybe some people would criticize it for being like kind of insta-lovey, because the couple just kind of like start dating and kind of like they don't have much interaction between like when they meet and then they start dating. You don't really see like a gradual like buildup of their feelings and relationship, but I feel like it's kind of true to a lot of like high school type relationships where it's just kind of like, oh, I think you're cute and you're nice to me, so let's just go out. I feel like a lot of the time with like actual high school relationships, you kind of have that sort of dynamic, so it felt really like true to how high schoolers would start to date. And the manga is really just about these 2 high schoolers dating, and this manga was so much fun. It was so cute. There were so many like really pretty sweet moments. The 2 of them fall hard and fast for each other, and it is just like cute moment after cute moment. Especially love when they went on their like Disneyland date, and then also their Valentine's Day was super, super sweet. Serena's Valentine's Day present to Mizukawa senpai was really, really cute, and it kind of reminded me of something like I might do for my boyfriend. It was very like arts and craftsy type of thing, and that's the kind of thing that I might do. So I really liked it for that. I'm really excited to read the rest of this series. It was just really fun, really sweet, with some really, really great panels of art. And just overall, I'm super glad that I read that series. Once again, so it is digital only, so there are no physical copies of it, which I am sad about, but you know, that's the way shoujo manga is now, apparently. So I talked about this in my December wrap-up where I was gonna read all of D and Angel in the month of December, but I didn't quite finish it up in December. So I read volumes 11 through 13 of D and Angel. So these are the last imprint volumes. I think the manga has continued and you can read chapters on like Crunchyroll or something like that, and I haven't gotten that far yet, but I loved D and Angel as a kid for like what I read a lot of the manga, but I didn't get this far, and D and Angel is like not as good as I remember it. It's very chaotic and messy, and I feel like it just kind of dumps you in the middle of situations, and you feel like you're missing something, but you're not. It's just that way. In the middle of the series, it kind of gets to a lull where you really don't know where it's going or what's going on, but it did pick up towards the end of it. Get some history on the rivalry between the Hikaris and the Niwas and their like generations long history and rivalry. There's lots of magic and art in here, so it gets more interesting at the end, but it's still not like the amazing series that I thought it was. In concept, this is really, really good, but I feel like maybe execution not so good. I don't know. It's kind of like maybe like 3.5 stars for me. If you want to put a rating on it. I don't normally rate manga, but 3.5 stars probably for D and Angel. The art is really pretty. I really like that, and I am interested, reading towards the end of this, I am interested in continuing the series just because I need to know what happens, but could have been better. Next up, I read Rosen Blood Volume 1. This is by Kachiru Ishizue. This is a vampire manga. Apparently I'm reading a lot of vampire manga lately, but it's kind of like a girl who finds herself in this like kind of gothic mansion with all these pretty boys who are all end up being vampires, and her trying to figure out the mystery of them. There's a lot of really spooky moments in this and a lot of like really pretty art. I feel like the story maybe didn't wow me. It was still kind of good. It really reminds me of an otome game. So if you like content that's like otome games, this is probably a good manga for you. I am interested in maybe reading another volume or two of this when they come out, just to kind of see where it goes. But this was also another like 3 stars for me. And this volume, so this manga, I actually read on my new podcast. I haven't talked about this here. You may have seen it on my Twitter if you follow me there. But I host a podcast along with Alyssa from Anime Intensity. The podcast is called Shojo Sunshine, which is a tongue twister. But every 2 weeks we talk about a new shoujo manga, and we just kind of like chat about our thoughts and feelings on a volume of manga. Rosen Blood was our very first episode. It is in video format right now. Eventually we're gonna get it as like an audio podcast, but right now it's on video, like video format, but you can listen to it on YouTube. So links to that are down in the description and up in the cards. You can hear more of my thoughts on this through Shojo Sunshine. I have to learn how to say that. Speaking of podcasts, another manga I read for the podcast was Lovesick Ellie. This is a series by Fujimomo. It is a shoujo series for the modern, chronically online internet girl. This is about a girl who like doesn't have a lot of friends in school, and she has a Twitter account where she makes up fantasies and like kind of like has a fake relationship with the popular boy Omi-kun in her grade. I don't know if he's in her class or not, but in her grade. It's about how the two of them meet, how they are kind of battling expectations of each other. Omi-kun is not the perfect popular boy that he plays off. And it's about their relationship and their feelings for each other and that sort of thing. It's also about Ellie learning how to make friends and that sort of thing. And it's just really, really fun. I related a lot to Ellie being a girl from high school who was kind of fangirly and didn't have a ton of friends. I wasn't completely friendless in high school, but I didn't have, like, I wasn't popular at all. So I really, really loved Lovesick Ellie. This is the imprint version. It has been releasing digitally through Kodansha for a while, but they just put it in print. So digital first came true because they actually printed it, and I'm so glad that I picked this up. I'm really excited for other volumes. Hear my detailed thoughts about this on the Shojo Sunshine podcast where I talked with Alyssa, because I had many things to say about this manga. More new releases. I read volume 17 of Snow White with the Red Hair. Y'all know I love me some Snow White with the Red Hair. This volume is about the plot against the suitors of Kiki and how Mitsuhide is being framed for some crimes, which we all know Mitsuhide would never commit a crime. That man is perfect. I love him. So there's a lot less Shirayuki in this volume. I don't know if she's in here really at all. Does like the main character show up in this manga? I don't know. I don't think Shirayuki is in this volume at all, which is interesting. But it's a lot about Zen and Kiki and Mitsuhide, and one of my newer favorite characters, Hisame. I love him so much. He's kind of an asshole, but I love him. This series continues to be great. I love it. There's not much to say about Snow White with the Red Hair. Next up, I read the next 2 volumes that I had to read for Honey and Clover. So I read volume 6 and I read volume 7. This series continues to be absolutely beautiful. It's an older shoujo / josei series about a bunch of kids in art college and them dealing with love and relationships and their relationship to their art and what it means to be like a good artist and what it means to be good at art and what it means to like find your place in life. These 2 volumes really focused on our main character Takemoto and his journey to kind of like find himself or figure some stuff out about himself, where he wants to go, what he wants to do. He kind of goes on this long journey across Japan on his bicycle, and it's really just like him learning to be self-sufficient and kind of meeting people and getting new experiences and that sort of thing. And it is absolutely beautiful. This series just makes me want to cry all of the time. It's so, so good. There's also a lot of focus on a kind of square of characters that has to do with a lot of unrequited love and kind of how you live with that and how you eventually move past it, or how you can move past your feelings for somebody who does not love you back. This main character, IU, I love her so much because, you know, she has all of these unrequited love feelings for this boy that is absolutely not interested in her at all, and it's about kind of the way that her and this guy are like kind of taking advantage of each other and their feelings for each other, or their not so feelings for each other. So it's really, really great commentary. If you're looking for like a really deep story about finding yourself, about transitioning into adulthood from the perspective of college students, this is it. These are the last physical volumes I have. The rest of them are at back order, Right Stuff, so I hope they get printed because I really want to read the rest of it because I have volume 10, so I need 2 more volumes, but they're not printed. And then I read volume 5 of Those Not So Sweet Boys. I am in love with this series. In this story we have Rei and Midori. They have started dating, and it's about their relationship and how their worlds are so, so different. It's just 2 high schoolers being in a cute relationship, but their families, especially Rei's family, since he comes from a really rich upper class family, and the pressure that they're putting on Midori. And it's like, these are high schoolers, like what are you doing? Why are you talking about like they're getting married? Because they're children. But it's a lot of like, if you want like family drama, this is it. Before getting volume 5, I really didn't know where the series was gonna go from there, but I like the direction that this has gone. It is really, really fun and really interesting, really cute. I'm still wondering what the heck Yuki Dojo's problem is, because he said some like bullshit that ruined a cute moment because I was still reeling about his bullshit. But anyway, Those Not So Sweet Boys continues to be one of my favorite ongoing manga series right now. Super, super cute. I love it so, so much. And finally, we get to Sailor Moon. So I read 5 volumes of the Sailor Moon manga, and I have the Eternal editions, so they're gigantic. Like, volume 5 is huge. It's so big. So this takes us all the way from Deathbusters up until the end of the series, so through Stars. And though I have loved Sailor Moon my entire life, I used to watch it as a child on UPN, I had never read the manga. I'd seen the anime and both the 90s version and the Sailor Moon Crystal version, and the manga is so much different than the 90s anime. The Crystal anime is much closer to the manga. That's the point of it. It was to be a closer adaptation to the manga than the 90s anime is. And I loved the manga. It was so, so good. I really enjoyed the art in the manga. It just kept on getting better and better. And it is just like a peak 90s like shoujo art. Like, Naoko Takeuchi is a queen. I loved her art. Everyone was so like fashionable and like beautiful and glamorous, and it was so, so good. A lot of the times with shoujo manga, like when girls are not in their uniforms, they're wearing kind of like weird clothing. Like, why would, like, nobody really dresses like that, or it's really unfashionable. But the Sailor Moon characters are just like, they could be walking down the runway at all times. It's so, so good, and like peak 90s, so amazing. Really loved the progression of the Sailor Soldiers' powers and how the story kind of developed over time, and it just felt really natural that they would be getting more and more power. There was always a reason for it, and it was always used in a really, really good way. And Sailor Moon just continues to be one of the greatest superheroes of all time, because Sailor Moon doesn't like fighting. Towards the end of the series, she wants to fight to end the fighting. She doesn't really like fighting, but she does it so she can create a better world for the people that she loves. She values her friends and her family so much, and it's just so nice and refreshing to see like a hero who is not obsessed with fighting, you know. She always approaches everything with like genuineness and kindness, and it is so beautiful to read. It is something that everybody needs to read. Sailor Moon is the most powerful anime hero ever. Like, there's no question about it. At some point, the world just decides that, oh yeah, we're fine with this girl being our queen. Like, she's that powerful and that beautiful and that nice. So yeah, she can be the queen. So like, there's no doubt about it. Like, Sailor Moon is the best. Definitely I didn't like Stars as much as I liked the rest of the series. For some reason, Stars to me feels, I still like it. It feels very lonely, and I feel like that is kind of the point about it. It's very much Usagi's like struggle and battle with herself, and she needs to do this final battle by herself, but it did feel really lonely. All of the characters felt very separated, especially at the beginning of it, and a lot of characters, I don't know really. Some of the characters didn't really feel like themselves. You don't get to spend a ton of time with them, which is kind of disappointing, but especially like Haruka, I felt like maybe she was a little bit out of character. She didn't seem like the same character as we saw earlier, and I don't know where that comes from. It's like earlier in the other arcs of the manga, like Haruka is this really like androgynous type of character, and we know that like Haruka is non-binary. Like, she was very, very feminine in Stars, and it just felt like such a deviation from kind of the androgyny that she like presented in earlier arcs. And I have not done enough like character analysis or like deep dive into Sailor Uranus's character, so I don't really know. Maybe I'm just like talking nonsense, but that's just what I noticed. But definitely I loved the end. The end is different than the 90s anime, so that was really great. It's very much focused on Sailor Moon's battle and just how she creates like this ultimate sort of power. The Sailor Moon manga was just such a joy to read. I'm so happy that I finally read it in my life, and I feel like everybody should read the Sailor Moon manga. Like, it is totally worth your time. So yeah, those are all of the manga that I read in the month of January. I read a lot of really great stuff. I feel like I loved pretty much everything. I think the only thing that I didn't like as much as everything else was probably Rosen Blood, and then D and Angel too. But I feel like I liked D and Angel more than I liked Rosen Blood, so Rosen Blood was definitely like down on the bottom of my ranking of manga. Let me know in the comments what manga you read this January. Have you read any of these? I'll be interested to hear any of your thoughts on anything that I read. In the description, you are going to find a couple of links that you can check out. One is the link to my podcast with Anime Intensity, the Shojo Sunshine podcast. There's also a link to my wish list on Amazon if that is something that interests you. There's also a link to my Right Stuff affiliate link, so you click on that link, I get a little bit of commission for anything that you buy, and you get some great manga. So if you want to check out any of this stuff that I got, you can probably find it on Right Stuff. They probably have like some of the best prices for manga, so yeah, that would help me out if you used that link. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more manga goodness from me. That is all I've got for you guys today. I'm Chrissy Lou. Till next time, matane!